Welcome back to All Crackers in the Box. Today is a little bit of what I've been working on, maybe some thoughts and feelings on a few things I'm considering working on. I want to wind some yarn, get some relaxed time. Got my calming tea tonight. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Hi. So, just wanted to say hi. What's going on? Hi. Thought I'd show one of my older projects that my mother made me a few years ago. It's a phone bag. It's got a pretty little button in there. Picked this out of our button collection just for something to give it a little more support because I have very large phones. She filled it with leftover satin from my long ago graduation trips, and yeah, it's big enough to fit my phone and my glasses because quite often I can't read without my glasses. So when we go places, I want to wear my sunglasses and I need to pull up my glasses. It's just the whole thing. I do really, really love this part here. And she made a matching headband and a really cute bracelet. I just have to remember where I put them right now. I wore them recently, but sometimes with little kids and jewelry, pretties go missing very easily. So, been looking around and hunting through Pinterest. Not a lot's been coming up on mine. For some reason, I'm suddenly into almost funny cartoons, and I just keep looking at them, so they keep showing up. It's just a thing. I'll fix it soon enough, but I haven't had a lot of time for just sitting there looking at different patterns, which I usually do, which is kind of strange. I did finish on my last video. I talked about my finished diamond art, and I have continued working on one I started about 2 months ago. I was going to do it for my son, but he has a different one in mind he likes. So I'm working on this. I got through all of this black yesterday while hanging out with the kids, giving my hands a break because my hands were really stressing. I've been working mindlessly on my summer shirt and I've gotten quite a bit through, which is very, very pleasing. I can really looking forward to wearing it. You see, it's right here. I'm going to pause for a moment while I get it out of its bag. I've been carrying it in. Okay, let's talk about my Father's Day project, the infamous killer doll. So, if you saw my last video, I was talking about how this round in particular had 7 slip stitches. And I can see an indentation. It's bothering me like crazy. I've stitched it over and over again, and I still see it. I've gone down to the row beneath, and I'm still getting it. I don't have anything like that on the other side, but this is driving me absolutely crazy. I may have to pull these out and redo it. I don't know. It's super noticeable. I feel that it's super noticeable. It's the only complaint I'm having with this so far is that because once I get over here, it's smooth sailing, and there is none of this. So I have this yarn barf to figure out. I put it in my pink tote behind me that I keep my 30s and my 10 weights crochet threads. I'm collecting quite a few from the thrift stores. I got an idea of something I want to do, a couple ideas actually, but I don't have quite enough, so I've just been gathering them. Considering doing something in all white and then maybe trying out tie-dye. My daughter, my middle daughter, my fartsy older one, would really like to try tie-dyeing. She's got some ideas, and you know, summer vacay's coming up, why not? I'm down. I'd love to try dyeing some yarn. That's something I'm super interested in. I'm interested in spinning wheels. I've been looking at a few on Marketplace here, working spinning wheels for like $50, and I'm going, are you joking? I tried it a long time ago when I was a little girl living in Ontario, and the museum, was it the museum? Might have been the festival at the fort in the town I lived in, because it was originally a fort town, so that was really neat. I really should take my kids back around there. I haven't been there since I was a child, so it was definitely a unique place. Waiting for some fun TV shows to come out. After my last video, I saw a preview for Good Omens Seasons 2, which is super exciting. I really enjoyed the first one. I found it to be funny, quirky, and Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman are both excellent authors, so I'm down. Definitely into that. And the actors were amazing. They did an amazing job. It was just so odd. I've been watching a show, Kevin Can Go Beep Himself, I believe it's called. Unique. Definitely unique. My mom watched the whole season. I gotta find out if there's gonna be a second season. I've been trying to catch it, but like last night I went down scary YouTube rabbit hole and watched hours of scary videos on YouTube. Scary videos. But yeah, sometimes I just enjoy watching those because, I mean, I like scary stuff. I do. I like a good scary story. And sometimes some of the high-end scary movies are just a gore fest, which is okay if you're in the mood for it. But I rarely am in the mood for it since I became a mom, so I want something that's a little more haunting. I want it to haunt my thoughts more than disgust me. So that is very hard to come across because I'm really a voracious reader, and I end up foreshadowing to the point of certain people will not watch certain types of movies with me because I can tell you pretty quickly what's going to happen. It's a joke around the house that, oh, mommy must have wrote this one. She knows what they're going to say next. She knows what's going to happen. It takes a little fun out of it. I mean, I could feel smug about it because, boy, I'm so smart, but I don't feel smug about it. I feel kind of like vindicated that, ooh, I was right, but at the same time, I also feel kind of bad because I can't help but say it out loud and I don't think about it before I say it. You know, the kid that liked to shout out answers at school. So let me find an end here. Is there an end here? Oh dear. It seems to have 2 sections, which is fine. But there's a lot of... This is a really nice soft yarn. I think I'm going to have to add it to my bouquet one. Bouquet? Boucle. Yeah. My mom's been trying to teach me how to say it properly. Boucle. And I have an idea of maybe a super warm duster, maybe for winter to wear around, because I have this wonderful tendency to pick a sweater or something that I absolutely cannot stop wearing for like a week, and then I don't wear it for a while. But I don't know, it might just be because it's hard for me to find clothes that I'm like right now, being the size that I am. Nothing wrong with my size, don't get me wrong. I just don't have amazing luck finding things that I like the way I look, and it's very complicated because I don't hate myself at all. I'm too confident about myself sometimes, but I am wanting to make myself some stuff that makes me feel a little bit better than, like, say, off the rack stuff, because I don't, even when I'm in shape or whatever size I am, I don't ever seem to really find anything off the rack that fits me fully comfortably. I can't think of a single garment that has ever just come off the rack and been able to be like, oh, that's the most perfect cut. I'm short. I'm 5'3". I've got hips. And when I'm small, I have absolutely no chest. And yeah, things fit weird. Like, I can't even explain it. It's just ridiculous. Because pants will hit, like, my personal favorite is pants will fit me in the waist and the hips, and they'll fit beautifully. And then I have to hem them by like 7 to 10 inches because that's the hip to leg ratio I don't have, which of course makes me feel just terrible because every time I get a pair, it's like, wow, yay, modifications again. And I'm yammering on about things that don't really matter and aren't really a problem, but sometimes they do feel like a big problem when you're emotional and you've got hormones going like crazy because, you know, mom life. Oh dear. Is this my end? Is this my end? I found you at last. I found you. Happy day. And surprisingly, I actually really enjoy untangling yarn. I enjoy untangling. My mom was organizing our DMC stash because we've got about 6 or 7 containers of them over the years. We have vintage stuff, we have new stuff, we have... Anytime we see DMC for a good price, we're grabbing some. We run out of 310 black all the time. Black and white, of course, are the worst. Just, I love backstitching anything I cross stitch. I use it for my amigurumis. Well, I've been buying some from the dollar store here and there for things like that. For my nice cross stitching, then I'll stick with my DMC to keep the same sheen. And I mean, I'm not even talking about like our JP coats and Americana ones, I think they're called. I don't believe their companies really sell much anymore in North America. I think you can still get them in Europe. I'd have to look that up to be sure, so please don't quote me. But anyway, she was bobbinating, which means you take them out of their little skeins because they get pretty loose when you've got like 40 of them in a container, and you could lose your numbers, and then you have no idea which one this is, and it's hard for me in particular. I don't really like doing it. I don't like saying within a degree of absolute certainty that a certain DMC color is actually that color when I'm comparing to the pictures online. I don't fully trust the pictures. Like, I was looking at some marketplace ads, and this girl's posting some yarn, and I'm like, okay, cool, let me take a look. What do you got? What do you got? Some vintage stuff. I'm in. Let's see. So she's selling this chunky yarn. Interesting. Never heard of this kind. Particularly, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, so please don't ask. And it says teal. Looking at the picture, it looks like sage green. So I'm sure it is teal. I really do. It just might have been a filter she had on, because she also had a sage green one that actually looks sage green. And, well, the other colors were fine, but that teal one definitely did not look like it was teal, but it said teal on the packaging because she made sure to take a picture of the label. Something to consider. I don't know. I don't know if I want to buy her yarn. I don't know if I need it. I just had to stuff more of my thrift store finds up even higher on the top of my shelf above me. I put 2 banana boxes, and I turn them on their side because I still have quite a bit of height to the ceiling, like quite a bit, and I can reach with the chair that I'm sitting on. This chair is a dining room chair, but it lives in here. We have too many chairs for our table set at the moment, so one of them gets to live in here, and that works for me perfectly because I also have high shelves in my closet, being that I'm so short. It's better than pulling out my giant ladder and trying to get up and down. Anyway, short person problem. So I put the banana boxes up there. I store my flattened out diamond arts on the very top of them. My 5-pound box of polyfill is on one side because I wanted to keep it up just, my daughters love the feel of polyfill. They like to touch it and play with it, and so it's best that it stays up high. I keep little bags out, and I do let them play with it. Don't think I'm a mean mom. I let them get their little hands on it, rip it apart and stuff before I stuff things. Their favorite part. Rip it up so I can stuff it. And nice little egg one. That's going to be a good amount. We're just going to stick you up here with the rest of it. Please don't fall on my head. Let me reach up here and make sure. All right. And I should be finished my summer shirt soon, so I can get the Calypso shawl started. This would be my second shawl. My first one went to my mother-in-law, and she says she loves it, so I'm very happy about that because I did work very hard on that and really put a lot of effort into finding the right pattern to complement the yarn and her personality. Classy and very laid back at the same time. Hard to explain. Oh, but I am super excited because, of course, this has just been advertised to me like crazy, and I love the idea of working with this. This was the first yarn that caught my eye with Hobie. I was going to buy one of their rainbow packs, and then the first time we made an order, it was great when they dropped their Halloween, and I love Halloween. I love Halloween so much. So I had to get some of the cakes. That's why I'm working with my mad scientist for my shirt. That's what it's called. I love calling it that. And so I had to put this aside, the regular ones, because I'm looking at, okay, what if this company's garbage? This pack is $13.90, which is great. It's being put into American, and then I've got to pay for it to come here. And I've got to pay the difference because Canadian to American is quite different. So I really hummed and hawed. But wow, I really, really like that company. I mean, in my area, I have about 2 brick and mortar stores, and they're very nice. Don't get me wrong, they are absolutely beautiful, but they're a little bit past my price point in a lot of ways for some of their stuff. Like, let me see here, what do I got that's easily grabbable? I think I put this orange wool, because it's wool. I wrapped it in a nice plastic bag just in case, because it's really dusty up there. And, here's 2 of them. Here's 2. I knew I had to check some clothes. So, bougie. Like, really small. And this one was marked for $5.10 for 80 meters. I really struggle with paying that. I mean, it's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I can't wait to get my hands on this. I'd love to do that with all the yarns. Like, I see the gorgeous hand-dyed stuff, and I'm just in love. I will get some at some point. There we go. And then we have this Sidar Snuggly double knit. Like, this one goes for $5.50 at the store it came from, and I don't know how long ago it came out because I did get it at the thrift store, but it is 179 yards. Like, it is, where does it say? 55 nylon and 45 acrylic. Beautiful, right? Gorgeous. But these are my options. I have a Michaels. My Michaels is always empty. Always empty. Even with the yarn resets and all that kind of stuff, and yarn finally coming out of Turkey, because I think that was what was going on with all these stores running out of yarn. I don't think it was a yarn reset. I don't think it was a line reset. I actually think it was because of that earthquake in Turkey earlier this year. When that happened, that's the first thing I thought of, was all the yarn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the people that didn't make it and the people whose lives were terribly impacted. This is my selfish self thinking of what I love, and that's yarn. I mean, Turkey's a beautiful place. I've heard a lot of amazing things about the food, the coffee. Turkish coffee is insanely yummy. Anyhow, so I think that's what's going on with, like, the Hobby Lobby stuff and the Michaels and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of hard to be up in business when you're limping along, your whole economy's messed, your people are gone. I mean, what if, like, their head guy is absolutely destroyed because of this, lost everything, you know? I'm only speculating, please, I'm only speculating. But that's what I assume happened. And I mean, that's the same thing with Hobie. They get a lot of their yarns from Turkey. I've seen a few people say that their yarn is made in Denmark. It's not. It all says Turkey, like Turkish cotton, right? Designed in Denmark, made, with love, in India. This is in India. But I know my dahlia was made in Turkey, because I remember looking at that thinking, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, thinking about, like, the rugs and the other textiles that Turkey has always been known for. I think my whole life Turkey's been pretty well known for textiles, rugs, that kind of thing. So I'm rambling again. But either way, I don't have a lot of options for good yarn around here, so I do like to look at Hobie a lot. I do check on Michael's, and a lot of the things can be brought in, but their price for a store that's 20 minutes away, 20 minutes from me, costs more than it does for me to import something from Denmark. That really sticks to me. Like, I mean, even Walmart, when I get stuff there and get it delivered, not as much for the delivery price. So I understand things cost more, and that makes me a little more careful about how I spend my money and where it gets spent. But there are certain things that I'm just not okay with. But paying almost $20 for a store that I could drive to, and I mean, I could have it be sent there for free. So, okay. And 90% of the time, the website says that this particular yarn's there, and you go there and they don't have it. And we've had that happen to us about 3 or 4 times. So, I mean, I've got my Karen cakes. I wanted to get some of these, and they're saying they're there. I went there and they're not there. And we searched everywhere, we asked. They, of course, knew nothing, and it's really disappointing. I really wish they would do better. Our Walmart has a very small amount of yarn, about 2 tiny rows, not big rows, just tiny short ones, and I can get through them pretty fast. There's a lot of Red Heart, which is great. Some Simply Softs, which are great, and some Burnett, the cottons, which I use for dishcloths almost exclusively. So I have to actually do another round of those. Yeah, that's on my to-do list this week, is make a couple dishcloths to keep my supply up and going, because I feel like I'm running out. But to me, running out, there's only 12, right? So I don't have to rush to get them done. I have a few other projects I'm always pushing myself to do way more. But I want to get this Calypso started, and I want to start figuring out what I want to do with some of my other yarns. I have about 3 projects that I'd like to get started. I want to get my one shirt done, and then I'm probably not going to make anything for myself for quite a while. So a couple of my cakes I'm just going to probably put in plastic until I'm ready to use them. But I do want to make that Shaples dress. It's really, really pretty. It's like 2 almost granny squares turned sideways. I should have enough, maybe, but I might just hold off a little bit till maybe next summer. I may just do that, so it gives me the winter to work on it. And I've never had Sheeples before, and I got 1 3/4 of one, and I think it's called Raspberry Whirl, hot pink, black, gray. It's way at the back of this one here, and if I pull it out, everything else will fall. I've kind of talked about it before. Yeah, it's way behind other cakes. I like my cakes. I think they're beautiful. Love the different colors. Anyways, I should probably get going. I have to go to sleep soon. Tomorrow's Monday, or today's Monday. Sorry, today's Monday. Stuff to do. Cut some dishes. Oh, yay. Might work on my puzzle. I keep saying I'm going to work on my puzzle. I don't mind having a puzzle sitting here waiting for me when I have time, which is occasional. I'll come in my room, do a little bit of puzzle. But I've been kind of feeling the diamond art, so it's been a lot more diamond art. Anyway, thanks thanks for listening to me ramble on and on about my thoughts and feelings about yarn, helping me detangle some yarn. That was interesting. And hopefully your Monday is wonderful. And I'll see you soon.